All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really beautiful story, one about personal discovery called The Story of the Seven Lights. You know that feeling? That quiet little nudge in your chest? That sense that there's something more inside you, just waiting to shine, but you're not exactly sure how to let it out? Yeah, that's the feeling this whole story is about.
So let me introduce you to our main character. He's a young boy named Santiago, and he's got this exact feeling we're talking about. He calls it a small light in his heart, and he has no idea what to do with it. So what does he do? He goes looking for help and finds this wise old gardener, a man people call the grandfather of the seven lights. And this guy's garden? Whoa! It's this incredible place with 7 different levels all climbing up, and on each level the plants actually glow. So Santiago asks him for help. And the gardener says something so simple but so profound. He says that light, it's already inside you. We don't have to create it, we just need to help it grow, like a seed. And with that simple idea, the journey into the garden begins. All right, so the first section of this journey, it starts right where you'd expect, at the very foundation. The first 3 lights are all about building that solid ground of self-awareness. You gotta have that before you can do anything else.
So here's the game plan. The path starts with these 3 fundamental steps. First, just be here, be present. Second, feel wisely, get a handle on your emotions. And third, think clearly. That sequence right there, that's how you build a really strong inner core.
Okay, so the first light, presence.
On that first level of the gardener gives Santiago a really simple task. He just says, feel your body, pay attention to what you're touching. Santiago touches a plant, feels its leaves, notices his feet on the earth, and boom, that simple act of grounding yourself in the real, physical world, that's what lights the first lamp, the lamp of being here. Next up, the second light, wise feeling. They get to the second level, and there's a little stream. The gardener uses this as a perfect metaphor. He tells Santiago, your feelings, they're like this water. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's rushing. The trick isn't to try and stop the river, right? You can't fight the current. You just watch it flow. You observe it. And that's how we learn to feel wise. So, we've got our bodies, we've got our feelings. Now, our thoughts. For the third light, clear thought, the gardener does something similar. He just points up at the sky. He tells Santiago to imagine his thoughts are just like those clouds passing by. You don't have to grab onto them, you don't have to judge them, you just let them drift. That kind of detached observation, that's the secret to clear thought. Okay, so once we've got that solid foundation, presence, emotion, thought, the journey starts to move outward. Now it's not just about what's inside. The next 3 lights are all about how we express ourselves, how we connect that inner world to the world around us. And that happens through the heart. And this is where things really start to bloom. Literally and figuratively. It starts with feeling love, which is all about connection. Then that love turns into action, with acting with kindness. And finally, it changes how we see everything, which is seeing beauty.
All right, the fourth light, love. On this level, there's a little fire surrounded by these beautiful red flowers. And the instruction is so simple. Put your hand on your heart, the gardener says, and think of someone you love very, very much. Santiago thinks of his grandmother, and right away, he feels this warmth spread through his chest. And that's the key, right? This isn't just some idea. It's a real physical feeling of connection.
Then we get to the fifth light, pure kindness. On this level, there are these amazing blue flowers, but they only bloom when someone does something genuinely kind. So the gardener asks Santiago, have you ever done something good from the heart without expecting anything back? And Santiago remembers this one time he found an injured bird and helped it, when nobody else was around to see. And in that memory, one of the flowers just shines. It's all about that selfless action, coming straight from the heart.
This next one, the sixth light, beauty. This one is fascinating. The gardener picks up a totally ordinary stone, just a rock. At first, that's all Santiago sees. But the gardener teaches him to look, really look, with his heart. And suddenly, Santiago sees the whole story of the stone, the mountain it came from, the river that shaped it, the patience of time itself. It shows us that beauty isn't just in what you look at, it's in how you look. It's about transforming the ordinary into something
sacred. So, here we are. We've climbed 6 levels. We've built our foundation. We've opened our heart. And now we've reached the very top of the garden. We're at the final illumination.
And this is the big reveal, the secret. The 7th light, it isn't another step you have to take. It's not something you do at all. It's what happens. It's a state that just emerges when all the other 6 lights are shining together in harmony. It's the light of truth.
So up at the very peak of the garden stands this one small tree, but its leaves look like they're made of shining diamonds. That's the 7th light. And the gardener explains, you can't force it. It only shows up when you're truly ready. It's that moment when Santiago feels it all at once. The presence, the wise feeling, the clear thought, the love, the kindness, and the beauty, all of them shining inside him at the same time. He basically becomes a walking, talking garden of light.
Okay, so the journey through the garden is done. But the real work, that's just getting started. Because now it's all about taking that inner garden and bringing it back with you, living it out in the world. So Santiago goes home, and he is completely transformed. He's literally carrying this garden of 7 lights inside him now. And here's the amazing part. His light is contagious. Seriously, when he walks through the village, people just feel happier. When he plays with other kids, they start to feel their own little lights begin to glow. He doesn't have to teach them. He just helps them find their own light by shining his own.
And this brings us to this really beautiful final idea from the story. We all have 2 parts inside us. We're the child, like Santiago, the one who feels that sense of wonder, who holds that seed of potential. But we are also the wise elder, the gardener, the part of us that knows the path and how to tend to that garden. We've got both.
And that leads to the story's most powerful message, captured in this quote. The inner garden only really flourishes when both of those parts, the curious child and the wise elder, awaken and learn to dance together inside our hearts. It's that partnership of wonder and wisdom. That's what makes us whole.
So, there you have it, 7. 7 lights on one integrated path. And the goal, as we saw with Santiago, isn't just to find that light for yourself, it's to become a beacon of light for everyone else. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to take with you. Looking at your own inner garden, which part of it needs a little attention today? Maybe it's just being present. Maybe it's an act of kindness. Or maybe it's taking a moment to see the beauty in something ordinary. Which of your 7 lights are you going to tend to today?